Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Make It Monday. I'm Leslie with the Plaid Poodle. I'm going to wait a minute until you all kind of log on here, until I see some eyeballs. If you're here, go ahead and say hello. We love comments, and I draw someone from the comments to and I'll mail today's card to them. We're going to make a card today for Make It Monday. Hi, Loopy. I hope you had a good 4th of July. We had a great 3-day weekend. Busy. My daughter's neighborhood had a fancy display, fireworks display, so she had us over for dinner, and then we went and we sat very appropriately for the times and watched a really fun fireworks display. Hi, Kim. Hi, Carol. Hi, Donna. You had a fun 4th, Loopy. That's awesome. And then our kids, half of our kids were up visiting the in-laws, so they were driving through last evening, so we kind of had a 4th of July number 2 last night. So it was a fun day, busy day. I'm a little tired today, but I'm glad to be back with y'all and crafting. I missed, I'm going to switch my camera around here. I'm missing you all. This morning I was thinking about Make It Monday and what we were going to do, and I'm just missing meeting together so much. But hi, Chris Butler. I need to talk to you when I'm finished. You won last month's drawing for the hostess code, so I need to get that to you. I'll give you a buzz after I'm finished today. Speaking of the hostess code, if you have an order in the month of July and you use this hostess code, Shopping with Me, your name will go into the drawing, and I thought it would be fun to have Christmas in July. So I think for our prize, for our hostess prize this month, I will send someone this Tags and Tidings photopolymer stamp set. And it comes with a coordinating die set. So one die cuts out all of these tags. But these little gingerbread men are fun to put on little cards and things. The ho ho ho. So you can use this for much more than tags. But and then it has a die cut for each one. So good luck for Christmas in July. Like I said, if you place an order with me of $30 or more, every $30 increment, and use this hostess code, your name goes in the drawing. And this is going to be our July prize. And today we're going to make a really fun card. It's a reverse easel card. I'm going to have to show you like this. And it's using one of our new stamp sets, but it sits up, I wonder if I did it this way. It sits up like this on the table. It's got a pretty little wreath with a little sign in the middle, and then I put a place to put your sentiment. It's pretty easy to put together, so, but there's a lot of steps, so let's get started. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Donna. Your card base is going to be a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock. And then you're going to take your trimmer or your Simply Scored tool and score it at 2 1/4. 2 1/4 inches. This is on the 11-inch side, and then 5 1/2. And that's going to create the easel. So you fold it in half at the 5 1/2, and then at the 2 3/4, we're going to fold it back. And I have got some ink on this one, but I think our designer series paper will cover that up. Now, then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper, and I took mine from the new, I'll grab it here and show you. Some of them are kind of cut. It's the new Forever Greenery designer series paper, which is really pretty. I almost used the stripe, but I'm being a paper hoarder, you all. I'm afraid to use it because I love it so much, so I'm hoarding it for something really special. So when you finally see me use that, you know it's going to be really special. I love stripes like that. So I've just taken 2 prints from that Forever Greenery designer series paper, and I've cut them down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I just wanted to use 2 prints. I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. So we're going to just put 1, and I'm putting the more, the darker one with the bigger print on the bottom. Or basically, it's the inside panel of the card. And then I'm going to put this lighter one that's got a more simple pattern. On this top piece. So it's just like a normal card, but we're putting the designer series paper on the inside, and then on that 2 3/4 inch where we scored that, you might want to fold it back once you put your designer series paper on there, or your first layer, and just really burnish it so that it's in there good. The crease. We're going to put a panel on there that will hold the card up. Okay, so I did the inside first because it was the easiest. And I took a piece of this coordinating paper to make a layer, and I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And I didn't get some die samples ready for y'all today. But maybe I'll post them later. But these are the Stitch So Sweetly. These came out with the spring mini catalog. And I really like them because they're stitched scallop frames. And we're going to also use this one. So I used the largest frame, and then I used this one from the Stitch So Sweetly. And that's how I made this layer. You can see the scallops. I don't know if you can see the stitches. Speaking of stitches, I didn't have to have stitches, but during the fireworks display at my daughter's neighborhood, it was in a cul-de-sac, and we were all sitting around the cul-de-sac in our chairs. And one of the things went off and fell over and went up my pant leg. I had shorts on, and I didn't get a blister. If I got a blister, it popped right, but I got a burn, man. So it could have been worse. But I have a story to tell. I put ice on it, and it's feeling much better. I'm taking care of it with some Neosporin. Okay, then here's that other die that I've already cut out. And I cut 2 out. I cut 1 out of the Just Jade and 1 out of Whisper White because I wanted to make a little stop. I just did a strip here. You could probably do a little piece of ribbon or maybe run some baker's twine around twice, but I wanted a little stop for our easel. So I thought if I cut 1 out and then just did a strip out of the middle, it would kind of match. And then I left the top blank so that I can write, a little note or sign my name or whatever right there. So how I did that is I cut 2, and then I kind of determined, well, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and that is from the Arrange a Wreath stamp set that we're using today. We're going to use this with the coordinating dies because I love a wreath. And if you look on page 127 of the annual catalog, you'll see a couple samples using this set. You can use it all year long. There's Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. There's all different little, there's a sample using this die as a sunflower that's just, I almost copied that, but we just did sunflowers last week, so I thought you might be tired of the sunflowers, so we did just some colorful little flowers. Hey Michelle, how are ya? Anyway, I really love the wreaths. I'm kind of a wreath person. So what I did is, like I said, to make the stop for our panel, is I cut this one, and we were going to stamp our sentiment on there, and I'm using Memento black ink, the tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to try not to get my head in here, y'all. Kind of did it towards the bottom because I wanted it to show when the card was open. And then that also left a spot to write a little note or sign my name. Oh, it's on your list too? I picked a good one then. And then I just determined about 6 little stitches up is what I did. And I put my little fingernail there. And then I use my trimmer. You could just use scissors probably. But I found the little spot where I marked with my fingernail. And I line them up into the cutting gutter or whatever that thing is called. And then I just eased it over just a teent. Just to make the little strip. And like I said, you could probably use a piece of ribbon or wrap some baker's twine around, and that would work as a stop too. I just did the little strip. And then it should line up with the edges really well. And then I just use some liquid glue. To adhere it on. Make sure I've got it in the right spot. There we go. A little glue on there. Okay, and then I just adhered that to the center of the inside. So that's the inside. Now we're going to do the front. See if I have something I can kind of hold that down with so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I had cut another stitched rectangle from those Stitch So Sweetly dies. Making sure I got that right. Yep, Stitch So Sweetly. And it's the same size as this one. It's the largest rectangle. And I'm just going to glue it just on this top flap. Hi, Susan. Okay. Now we're just going to build our wreath. And what I used was a piece of 3 3/4, I think. Yeah, by 3 3/4. This is Pear Pizzazz, and this is Garden Green. This is Just Jade, so I'm using 3 different greens. I thought that would be kind of fun. And I did the one wreath die cut out of the Pear Pizzazz, and then the other more simple wreath out of the Garden Green. I die cut those out, and here they are. And I put the lighter one on the bottom. It showed up better against that Just Jade. And they were real easy to adhere. I didn't fill every nook and cranny with adhesive. I just kind of put some around the edges, just enough to get it to stick. And put it right in the center there. There's a little, there we go. One piece I didn't get. Woohoo! Sorry. We're falling apart. Susan, this is the Arrange a Wreath bundle that's in the new, of course I've taken some of the dies off, the new catalog, the new annual catalog. I'm kind of a sucker for wreaths. And I like this one because you can use it for so many holidays. I thought it went really well with the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper too. So I took my colors out of there, the greens anyway, the Just Jade, actually all the colors. Okay, so I just layered the 2 wreaths. I think we're done with that for a minute. Then I cut out the little flowers. And I just used some scraps of my favorite Magenta Madness. And this is the new, I always forget, y'all. Why do I forget Misty Moonlight? I don't know. And this is the Bumblebee. So just some scraps. I cut out 3 flowers with this die. And there's 2 of them. So that was helpful. From the Bumblebee. Then I cut out 6 flowers with these tiny, from these little tiny dies, and there's 3 of those. So that was just 2 times through. And then this pretty little bow, and it's really ingenious how they've done this so that you can make like a double bow with your die cut. And I cut that out of the Misty Moonlight. So I went ahead and did all that, so you didn't have to watch me die cut. And all I did, I think you could use some mini glue dots, but I just used my multi-purpose liquid glue. And kind of the rule of 3, I put my yellow flowers on first. My fingers are sticky from the glue. They must be stickier than the paper. So I just kind of made a little triangle with the yellow flowers, the bumblebee flowers. I didn't do much stamping on this project. I did a lot of die cutting. So here's like the triangle for the rule of 3, and then I have the 6 little pink flowers that I'm going to fill in. Y'all, I was hoping to have the July card class to go kits ready to show you today, but with all the holiday goings on, and I'm having some technical difficulties. I filmed all of my tutorials for the June class, and I'm really having a hard time getting them edited and loaded. So I really have to take care of that before I can move on to July. So later on this week I'll have it, and I plan on working on those videos this afternoon, and I'm hoping something didn't happen bad with my laptop. I did get out a external hard drive and took a bunch of stuff off last Thursday, and I hope that helped. I really don't want to buy a new computer. And I'm also not using my microphone today because I noticed last week's Monday or Wednesday Coffee and a Card, there was kind of a buzz, and I think it's my microphone. So I got a lot of technical glitches I'm working on to make this so it's not so horrible for y'all. Okay, this little bow thing is so ingenious because there's 2 pieces, and when you glue one behind the other, it looks like a little double bow. Let's see if I can hold that straight. Isn't that cute? So I'm just gluing these together. Kind of doing them so they're going to show. So I'm doing a little catty-womp. So there. Doesn't that look cute? It's kind of blurry. Little double bow. They gave us that extra little piece. And I am going to use a mini glue dot for that, because that won't show from behind. And I just put the little bow down here in the corner on our wreath. And then I made this little sign. There's a stamp in the stamp set for a little sign, and these sentiments will fit right in this sign. But I used since I used my sentiment best wishes down here, I used as a little happy day from the Itty Bitty Birthday set. And here is our stamp, and I just need a scrap of Whisker White for that. And I went ahead and stamped that with the Seaside Spray. I tried using the Misty Moonlight ink and stamping off once, and I just thought it was still too dark. So I got the Seaside Spray. It's a blue, and it's kind of a denim-y blue, and I thought it looked good with that blue bow. Hey, Debbie. So there's our little plank. Yeah, I'm a sucker for wreaths too, and that bow is cute. You can use that bow on a lot of things. Birthday cards, Christmas cards. Y'all, Patricia Comstock's watching, and that's my mother. Say hi to Pat. Some of you have gone to my classes up north. You know her. She's spending a few days with us. She came down for the 4th. She's in the other room, but I made her put her headphones on so that my voice wouldn't be echoing from the other room. So I'm just trimming this out with scissors, this little sign. I guess they thought we didn't need a square die, a rectangle die. And then I'm using the gingham ribbon, the Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and I just took the tiniest little piece and folded it in half. And then I used some mini glue dots to hold it together. And then I put it behind the little sign. And I wanted it more crisscrossy, so it looks like it's hanging. See how I made it kind of look like it's hanging off the wreath? That's how I wanted it to look anyway. I don't know if that's how it's looking, but that was how I was envisioning it to look. So I'm putting a little mini glue dot behind our little sign. And then putting my ribbon behind there. And then I took a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. For that, I had that popped up a little bit. And I just put that kind of in the middle of the wreath. You know how they do. Some wreaths have the little things hanging down from the middle. And I think that's kind of how they designed the stamp set, because there's that little partridge. That would be cute hanging down the middle of the wreath. For Christmas time, a partridge in a pear tree. And then there's your pears. There's some really fun leaves for fall. There's your hearts for Valentine's Day and your Easter eggs for Easter, and then lots of flowers for the rest of the year. Oh, and that die that I showed you, there's not a stamp, but that I almost made the sunflowers out of. These would make lovely poinsettias for Christmas, I thought, if you did them in red. So they thought of everything for us on that one. So that is the card. It is a reverse easel card because it stands up. It's kind of hard to see. Let's try this again. If I show it this way. This isn't the best camera. Saving my money to get a, I don't know what they call them. But if I don't figure out my technical difficulties, I'm going to have to get a new computer. But that is the card. And see, it wasn't really that hard. Of course, I had all the die cutting done ahead of time. So if you're doing a mass production of something, you know, it really helps to get everything done and then just put them together. So thanks for joining me today for Make It Monday. I will be back Wednesday for Coffee and a Card. You guys stay safe and well and healthy, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.